Hey guys, I know this is a little late and I'm kind of in the dark, really. Um, but it has come to my attention that a lot of people do not understand what goes into getting the stadium ready for a baseball game. So that is the attempt of this video. Pardon me, I'm trying to get light set up right. Okay, I think that's good for now. So basically, I work concessions at Met Stadium City Field. Um, there are a bunch of different concession stands at the stadium. So I'm just gonna give you a little quick rundown of what it's like being a concession worker at City Field. So whatever time the game starts, whether it be 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or 7 o'clock, I have to be literally in the stadium 3 to 4 hours before game time to get stuff prepared. So it depends on the stand that I'm at for that day and what is in that stand. Um, if it's one of the food stands, we basically come in, all food gets prepared before guests arrive. Um, so that means popcorn has to be, you know, we get these giant bags of popcorn that has to be put into the popcorn boxes, put on the shelves to be displayed for y'all purchase. We have to um, prepare the boats. That's the little containers that have your tenders and fries, your hot dogs, your burgers, um, your bulgogi sandwiches, your papa frita sandwiches, your nachos. We have to prepare those. We have to put the liners in the boats in a certain way. The liners have to be folded. Some are folded, some are not. But basically, we have to be in the stand preparing everything for guest consumption, whether that be pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, ice cream. We have to prepare all that. And it takes a lot of time to do that. So that's why most of us are in the stadium 3 to 4 hours beforehand. If it's a beer stand or a liquor stand, we have to count the back of a house inventory. We have to count the front. We have to count the front stand inventory. We have to count miscellaneous items like koozies, peanuts, jerky, sunflower seeds, all the crazy stuff that most people want to purchase and eat during a game. All that stuff has to be prepared. We have to count inventory because to make sure we have enough for that day's game. And then, yeah, to definitely make sure we have enough for that day's game, that we're able to refill the front from the inventory in the back. So we're not like stressing out during a game that we don't have. certain items for your purchase or consumption. Retail, if if we work in the retail store, got to make sure all the stuff is hanging properly, signage is is up proper, so and everything is put in a certain way. Everything is in a certain cubby on a certain hanger, because let's face it, when guests try stuff on, they never really put it back the same way. So yeah, we have to take charge of that. Um, and basically, we once all once all that is done, it's usually about an hour and a half before first pitch. That's usually when gates open, and that's when y'all come in. And y'all come in, and y'all don't see us do this stuff. Y'all just basically assume that it's already ready. And that's the way it's supposed to be, because we get there early enough to make all the stuff and have it ready for y'all. So that was the before. Here's the after. Depending on what your stand is and what you're doing, your ending will stop at a different point of the game than some other stands. If you're serving alcohol throughout, like any stand in the ballpark that serves alcohol, you basically close up shop at the end of the seventh inning. After that, at, or either you close up shop at the end of the seventh inning, or you finish serving the guests that you have at the end of the seventh inning. Reason being, we don't want anyone to drive home or just stumble out of the stadium super excessively drunk. We understand that you're going to drink in the stadium. We get that, but we want you to get home and get home safe. So beer, alcohol, all that stuff, basically anything alcoholic ends at the end of the seventh inning, basically going to the top of the eighth inning, all that stops. For you guests that insist on trying to bribe us to sell you more beer afterwards, please stop. Because what you're asking for is for that worker to be fired. And no one likes to be fired. No one wants to be fired. So it's the end of the seventh inning. You're serving alcohol. Once that's done, once you've finished with your last guest, now you have to start counting everything, because you can't count during the game, because everybody's taking stuff and you're putting stuff back in, and taking more people taking more stuff out, and you're replenishing. So you're basically counting what's left in your refrigerator. If you're like selling beer or hard or spiked drinks, you're counting that. You're counting all that stuff that's in the refrigerator. Then you're counting your miscellaneous items that's up front. And after all that, you're basically taking inventory of what stuff you have in the back. So you have to count that, and you gotta match that to, you have to subtract that from what you started with, and that would be an end count. And depending on how much stuff you have or how much stuff you don't have, that can take anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes. And basically, after that, you are basically done, but you still have to like wait for I still have to wait for a supervisor to come around and double check my sheet and send that down to the office so they can verify what I have, so they know how much stuff to order for the next game. If you're not doing alcohol, but you're doing food, depending on your stand may close in the eighth inning, your stand may close at the end of the game. But either way, you still have to serve what you have until you're told that you can close. And it varies from stand to stand. So, as a guest, I suggest you kind of plan accordingly, know what stand that you're going to, and try to get there before they close or start closing. Because once we start closing, we're not selling anything else. Don't ask us to. We're not going to. Don't try to offer us money for food. We're not going to do it. Don't ask us if we're throwing stuff out. I mean, we are, but we can't give it to you. It's literally a rule that stadiums cannot give out their unsold food because it's like a health hazard. But that's basically the gist of it. So once the game's over and you guys leave, we're still counting stuff. We're still inventorying stuff. So we have enough stuff for the next game. And if that game is like the last game of the homestand, we're doing extra inventory so they know how much stuff to order for the next homestand. So all the stuff that you don't see is it's a lot of it. And even though the game may start at, for a night game, 7 o'clock, and if it's a pretty quick game, end at maybe 10 o'clock, most of us concession workers are there till about 11:30, midnight, sometimes even later, just to make sure everything is up to snuff for you, the guest. So that's my little spiel on concession work. I hope you found it informative. Um, Please comment on this video when you see it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. So thank y'all, and I hope to see y'all at one of the games at City Field this year. All right, later, y'all.